So that actually, I mean, that ties in nicely with your first comment about how not expanding into international markets is a big mistake. I wonder if part of the reason for that is because people just, there's too much uncertainty in people's heads. Like if I ship this item that is big and bulky, will it get there? Will the customer claim that it's not arrived? Do you know what I mean? There's all these kind of questions that just get magnified, I think, when you put an ocean between the two countries, don't they?
Uh, Correct. And now I look at it a little differently, right? Well, in fact, I see it quite the opposite sort of light, because to me, um, especially in the context of, let's say, Europe and United States, or UK and United States, the trade between these countries, a lot of the goods are actually not manufactured in either of these countries, right? These are brands that manufacture typically in Asia, right? So, when you're talking about international freight and international expansion, now think of expanding and actually fulfilling from the source, right? Let's say you're a UK brand selling to US, let's say Chinese-made goods. Now you bring them to UK, and then you ship them to US. There's it's a longer life cycle for the product. There's a lot more things that can go wrong in between. Now imagine fulfilling that product from China direct to the United States. Maybe not the best example given the tension between US and China with trade, but at least you're removing all of these other things in between. You're removing the time it takes for this product to move around. You're removing a third country with its own sort of trade and political dynamics. So it's becoming a more straightforward transaction. Now, looking at it from a US brand perspective, where we Americans are not the most popular country right now in the world, right? So if you're selling Asia-made products to, let's say, Canada or Australia or Europe, it would be like a whole different thing shipping your product straight from the factory to the consumer versus shipping it from your US inventory, where it's subject now to retaliations. That's other stuff, right? So it could be an enabler, and it could be a nice sort of hedge strategy, basically allowing you a lot more flexibility than just selling in the United States or just selling in the UK.
That's very true. Actually, I had not thought about that. So the idea that with the trade war, especially if you're not a popular country like the US at the moment, then actually that makes a lot of sense. So you can send your goods to Canada still, but just send them straight from China, as opposed to bring them into the US first, where it's just going to be problematic, and then shipping them out of the US to Canada is another set of problems. Whereas I imagine the trade between Canada and China is pretty reasonable. In fact, I think Temu have just started something in Canada from memory. So I think I see that making a lot of sense, actually, and hopefully resolving at least some of the issues, if not all of them.